walked into a bookstore hoping to pick up a picture book for your toddler and then found yourself completely confused by the huge variety of books on the shelves there? If this is something that has happened to you, then you are in the right place, because today I'm going to give you 6 ways to identify the best picture book to pick for your toddler. Hi, I am Nandini Nayar and I am the author of over 50 books for children of all ages, and this is a world of my books and stories. And this is where I offer ideas and suggestions on how you can raise your child to be a reader. So let's get on with identifying the 6 ways in which you can pick the best picture book for your child. The first is always look at the size of the book. I can see that you're surprised. What you wonder, does size have to do with this? Size does matter. Because remember, when you begin reading out to your child, the idea is that eventually your child becomes an independent reader and learns to reach out for a book whenever he or she wants entertainment. And if the book is too big and too heavy, this is not something that's going to happen, because your child is going to find it really difficult to pick the book and sit by herself or himself to read it. And therefore, size does matter. Look at some of the books. These are all my stories which have been published by a variety of publishers. Now, this is by Tulika. You can see the size, okay? It's just appropriate for a child to hold. Also pay attention to the quality of the pages. If they're too thin, a child is going to find it difficult to turn the pages. This, as you can see, has the pages of the perfect thickness. Here's a book published by Children's Book Trust of India. This is slightly bigger, but again a very, very comfortable size. And here are 2 books which are part of the Sameer series, and these have been published by Karadi. Now you can see that these are definitely bigger than the other books I've shown you, but these 2 are very, very comfortable sizes. You can just imagine a child sitting with these books open on the floor, and the pages are appropriately thick so that it will be easy for your child to turn the pages. So yes, the first thing to look for is always the size. Yes, books which are hardback do last longer, because when the primary reader is a child, do get prepared to have a lot of battered books. But in some cases, this becomes too heavy for the child to really manage on his own. So always look for books which are decently sized. Too small books also become challenging for a child's little fingers to turn the pages, and too big books also don't fit on their laps, and the child has to make an effort to read them. So size does matter, and that's the first thing you should look for. Now the second thing you should look for is the contents. Look for pictures which are big and bright, because remember, this is what is going to attract your child's attention long before the story does. So look at these. These are the kinds of pictures that a child would love to look at. Let me show you. Also, this is, I love the illustrations in this one because of, you can see how big they are, and at the same time how many little details they have and how colorful they are. Okay, so always go for books which have bright and big illustrations so that a child can enjoy looking at them. Now the third thing for you to look for is the text. You will have noticed in all of these books that the text is kept to a minimum. There are just hardly a few lines on each pages, and this is a kind of book that you should be picking for your child. This was my first book with Tulika. You can see how minimal the text has been kept, because books which come with big fat chunks of text are definitely not going to attract your child. Okay, so that's the third indication of whether the book is appropriate for your child or not. So does that mean that if a book comes with very, very minimal text, but this minimal text uses challenging language, that it is appropriate? No. The sentences that are used, the lines, the words, the vocabulary items should be appropriate for the child's age. Because remember that when you read out these books to your child, you will otherwise spend a large amount of time explaining what these words mean. And no child is going to enjoy having a story explained to them when they would rather just listen and appreciate it. So always look for books with minimal text but which uses child-friendly vocabulary and sentence structures. Alright, and now we come to the fifth way that you can identify an appropriate picture book for your child, and this is to do with the story itself. So always pick a story which is very simple, which is very straightforward, because at this age you don't want the story to be cluttered up with a variety of little themes and little stories going off and lots of characters crowding it. If you look, for example, at let's look at Pranav's picture. This has Pranav and his mother talking, so that is two people. Mouse and Bear is about Mouse and the friend that he eventually makes, that is the bear. If you look at Chotu and the Big Wind, which is a book much enjoyed by children, you will find that it is Chotu just on his own, and at the end he does have a little, just a very short conversation with his mother. Okay, so always look for stories which have a very straightforward plot, because this is something that children will appreciate and enjoy, and humor is great too. And finally, here's my sixth point: always look for stories which children can relate to. Now, this doesn't mean that your child is not going to enjoy a story which is about somebody going off into space or traveling by by a plane or something like that, but the story that they will come back to again and again will always be a story that reflects their own reality. So for example, I think that a lot of children enjoy Chotu and the Big Wind because it is set in a very familiar and a very recognizable world. It is set at home, and Chotu is a boy who's playing on the terrace, which is something that many of our children have done and continue to do and enjoy. Alright, so these are just some of the things that you watch out for when you go looking for a picture book for your child. And if you follow these 6 ideas, you can be sure that your child is going to love the story and want more. And there can be nothing better than a child who has fallen in love with books and with reading. So if you would like more such ideas on how to raise your child to be a reader, do like and subscribe to my channel. You can connect with me here on YouTube by leaving a comment in the comment section, or reach out to me on my Facebook author page, or connect with me on Instagram. My handle is the Nandini Nayar. So till the next time, keep reading, keep smiling. Bye-bye and thanks for watching.